So as you recall, we had done the mitten. And in fact, Nicholas was telling me we have a couple of versions of the mitten having been told to our children. Well, I'm going with the balance of that, which is the hat. Hey, there we go. Thank you. Hey, hi there. So obviously there's a farm, lots of farm animals in this picture. I see a goose and a dog and a hedgehog, a pig and a horse and a cat and a chicken. So I think they're all going to play a role in this story. And we can tell the time of year, right? No doubt about it. In fact, they start by saying it is becoming winter. For those of you who live in places like Nebraska or Kansas or the Dakotas, where you have lots of flat land for growing crops, well, you can see where this takes place is very similar. And in the corners on each page, you know that she always shows something that's going to be important to see. So she starts with socks, handmade socks, and here she has a hat. And this is called the hat. And here's a scarf that you would put around your neck, and gloves. Winter was on the way. Lisa took her woolen clothes out of the chest and carried them outside. She was hanging them up in the fresh air when a strong wind blew one of her stockings off the line. So here's her basket for her clothes, and there she is. Look at that. And I bet where you live, there's wind sometimes, and I bet it's very, very cold this time of year. We call that a north wind. And she clipped on all of her clothes, but something blew off, and here it is. See what's going away? She goes back in the house, and it says, "Curious Hedgie," he's a hedgehog, "found it and poked his nose in." What did he poke his nose in? A sock. When he pulled it out, the stocking was stuck on his prickles. How embarrassing, Hedgie thought. There he is. And somebody's going to be next in the story. He can't get it off because it's stuck on his prickles. And there we have Lisa, who's back at home. But now we have a chicken with chicks. The mother hen came by with her chicks. "Peckle, peckle," she clucked and laughed. "What's that on your head, Hedgie?" Why, it's my new hat." He told her, "Isn't it beautiful?" The mother hen cocked her head as if she had an idea, and then off she ran. Did he really plan it to be a hat? I don't think so, but that's what he's telling them. Here we go. Here's Hedgie again. Hedgie saw the noisy gander, a gander's a male goose, looking down at him. The gander laughed. "Hedgehog has flipped his gizzard. Laugh today, gander, but tomorrow when it rains, my hat will keep me dry," said Hedgie. The gander thought for a moment, and off he ran. So next in the story is a cat. So let's see. We have the mother hen and the goose, the gander, and now a cat. And meanwhile, Lisa is at home and she's making some hot tea or cocoa. The barn cat was watching from a tree as Hedgie tugged at the stocking. Meow, he called down. What a silly looking hedgehog you are with that thing on your head. What a silly looking hedgehog. But my ears will be warm in a snowstorm, said Hedgie. Purred the cat, and off he went. So there he is up in the tree, and he sees Hedgie down below. But he has an idea too. What are all these animals going to do? Next animal, a dog. The farm dog and her puppies found Hedgie in a patch of brambles. That's like blackberry stickers. Hedgie, is that a hat you're wearing? How funny you look, she barked, and her puppies yelped and giggled. But I'll be cozy and dry when it snows, Hedgie said. The farm dog's ears perked up, and off she ran. There they are. There are the puppies, and there's the mama. And who's next? A pig. And now we have Lisa, who's sitting at home. She doesn't know what's going on outside with the animals. She's reading a book. But now we have a pig and piglets. Oink, oink, the piglet squealed. What are you up to, Hedgie? The mama pig asked. Making sure my hat doesn't fall off if an icy wind blows up, said Hedgie. I see, said the mama pig, and off she ran. Take a look at Hedgie. Look at that silly whoa. Here we go. Can you see him? And there the little piglets are watching the silly animal with a stocking on his head. And who's next? Of course. And here is Lisa, all dressed. She's wearing a pretty little dress. We're about to look out the window and see what's going on. Hedgie, what is that ridiculous thing on your head? The pony snorted at Hedgie. That was the last straw. It's my hat, of course. Don't you know that everyone should wear a hat in winter when it's cold and snowy? Hedgie shouted. The pony looked startled. Hedgie was usually so friendly. Off the pony ran. Now take a look at the top of the page. Let me see if I can get that. I don't know, it's hard to see. But do you remember that clothesline with all the clothes on it that started at the beginning when the stocking flew off? Oh, I see some long underwears and a stocking up there. And there goes Hedgie down the hill. And who's next in the picture? Why, it's Lisa again. Lisa goes outside. She's all dressed for winter. There she is wearing her coat. Hedgie just wanted to be alone. He was tired of everyone laughing at him, and with this thing on his head, he wouldn't even fit into his den. And there he is, so very sad by himself, with this funny thing on his head. But there is Lisa running through the woods. Okay, and here's Mama Hen. Okay, Hedgie didn't see Lisa running after him, the other stocking in her hand. Come back, you silly hedgehog, she called. Oh no, Hedgie thought, even the girl is laughing at me. But here we have a hen with some gloves, and we have a goose, I think that was with a hat. And we have a cat with a scarf. And here is Lisa. Lisa caught up and pulled her stocking off of Hedgie's head. You ridiculous little hedgehog, she laughed. Don't you know that animals don't wear clothes? And here she is. And there's the rest of the picture. Take a look. She's helping him get the stocking off his head. Hedgie, headed for his den. It's now off his head. He's fine now. And Lisa started back toward the clothesline. That's when she saw all of her missing woolens, because we have the pig has clothes, the pony has clothes. And here they are, the very last picture, pretty close. The animals had taken them, and each one was thinking, now I am wearing a magnificent hat. Look what they did. Remember, Hedgie ended up with it by accident. These animals all took clothes and made them into hats so they could look like Hedgie. They were laughing at him till they got their own hats. And there went all the clothes on the line. Lisa was still chasing them when Hedgie reached his den. How ridiculous they look. Don't they know that animals should never wear clothes? Says Hedgie. And here is the last picture. There they are, running off with clothes on their heads as hats. And there is Hedgie, back in his den without the stocking on his head. Wow. You know, sometimes people will put clothes on their pets, don't they? Sometimes you'll see little dogs wearing coats and little sweaters and things like that. I wonder if they like it. I wonder if dogs like wearing those. Well, these animals all thought it was very silly of Hedgie to have one, but when it came down to it, they wanted to be just like Hedgie. They all wanted a hat just like his. So that is the story of the hat that became many hats because they all made a hat out of a piece of human clothes. So that's the story, a winter story about staying warm, because that's what they kept saying all along. Stay warm, it's wintertime. So there we go. Did you guys like that? That's fun. Thank you. It's a sweet story. Hedgie. You know, I've always wanted a hedgehog. We don't have them here in this country, but when I was in Ireland, I saw a hedgehog, but I think I'd been hit by a car. That's the only time I've seen one, but I always liked the idea of a hedgehog. I think I'll have to go back to Ireland and find another one. But this is in Europe, right? This is in Sweden or Norway, probably Norway. I think that's where her stories are from. And it was always fun to read Jan Brett books, but especially her pictures. She does her own pictures, and they're beautiful. And they predict. If you look at whatever's on this page, it will tell you what's on the next page. And if you look here, you'll see what's happening here, and this one will tell you what's next. So enjoy your Jan Brett books. I also have one that's right here. It is a compendium of her winter stories. And I had another one, I'm not sure where it is now, but it had all of her troll stories in it. She writes a lot about trolls and how trolls are always into mischief and always squabbling, as trolls sometimes do. I want to thank you for being here, and hope you're all staying warm. You're not going out to the clothesline to get clothes off it and put funny things on your heads today. That would be silly.